Hi guys, my name is Jens Gabek. I have this YouTube account, the Danish Fly Tying, and today we're going to tie this little zonker fly. It's a quite small zonker flies, but it's made with rabbit fur. I really recommend you to get a nice little rabbit like this, so you can cut the zonkers, the strips, as you want it, and you can vary how wide they are, and you can get exactly the taper that you want. When you added it, please, I recommend to cut some different strips so you can have something to work with. And this fly is made with fur and some dubbing and a head, and you can find the full material list down below in the description. But we have this longer zonker strip on top of the fly, and then a small strip on the underside, and just on the body, on the hook shank, I've tied down some dubbing. This is a fluorescent red SLF dubbing. As you can see, it's just shines with the UV light. I like that feature of it, and I tie this unweighted because I like to fish my flies on very shallow water, and where you also can have like very slow retrieve. Yeah, I think I'm gonna show you the steps when I'm tying it, and if you have any questions or comments, please comment below, and if you're in for more fly tying tutorials, please subscribe to this channel. So yeah, let's tie this one. So yeah, let's begin. The hook I'm tying on is this FlyCo Explorer Stingerhook size 6. You can also use another Stingerhook like Ahrex 122. And hopefully my sound is more quiet than this. Perhaps. We'll try. I'm using a Veevus GSP thread. Size 30 denier. I like this thread because it's just super strong and super thin, and work the way down to the hook bend. And I'm gonna show you two of these flies. I've made this. You can tie it a bit thick, or like this, a bit more sparse in the materials. And it's the size of the zonker strip that depends it, and also where from the height the strip is from. But tie it as you want, or what the materials give you of opportunities. I have made these myself of a squirrel skin or hide that I've got. And when you chew it, then make a bunch, so you can tie some flies when you're at the vise. But we have to first make the tail. I think that's fine here, and you can get your needle to separate and moisten them a bit. And there we have some bare skin that we can tie down. About 3 wraps, that's fine. Tie it down. And now we have to tie down some fur on the underside. And I have a strip as well here. And this is not tapered, but I would like to have some bare skin here, so I can tie it down. Like a millimeter or so. Not too much. think that's fine. First a loose wrap. And try to get it on the underside of the hook. So you have a strip on the top and a strip on the bottom. Tighten it. It's fine. And then I use just a little material clip on what you have. This is for hair, but it works fine. And now we're going to make the body of the fly. I'm using some SLF salt water, I think, in some fluorescent red. And we're gonna make it on the thread here, and most sparse down here. Then we can make it more thick when we go up the hook shank. You can also use a dubbing loop here if you want. I have this little bag that I've made a little hole in the bottom, so it's easier to just get the right amount out of the bag. Yeah, so I'm going to stop about 2 millimeters from the hook eye. That's fine. And for the next step, it's much easier if you have like a good grip. You can see this is, I've not cut that perfectly, but it doesn't matter because this part is not gonna stay in the fly. And as you see, I have made the strip a bit longer than the hook eye, and it's because I then can stretch it here and track some of the fibers from in the front here, and that's gonna make the fly more tapered. I made it not so easy for myself here. Moisten it a bit and take a couple of loose wraps around here, and you see you get a really nice thick head with this way of tying it. And you can stretch it here this way and then hold it down with the thread. That's fine. And we're going to do the same on the underside. Lay it down, take some of the fibers from the front, a couple of loose wraps, make sure that it's on the underside of the fly, and then tighten it down and tighten the thread. And when I'm pulling my thread, I'm holding the materials in place so it doesn't rotate. That's fine. Then I can cut off here in the front, also on the bottom. You can also add some flash here if you want. And make a little head with thread here. try to get a clean head. And if you have a little dubbing brush, where did I put mine? No, I'm just gonna get another one then. You can first brush upwards and then downwards. That's how I normally brush my flies. That way you can control the fibers more. Yes, now whip finish. And now we're ready for the eyes. For this one I just gonna use some flat eyes in red. I think they are 4 millimeters. But first, to get a clean hook eye, I'm gonna just half a second burn some of the fibers at the hook eye. And if you do it too much, you're gonna ruin your fly and have to start over again. And I really like this little trick to get your eyes on the thumb. I've learned that from the wonderful fly tire at Coast Fly. But we're gonna get those fly eyes on, and I'm gonna use UV-resin for that. This is the medium viscosity. Get your eye on top. You can press it in with your thumb to get a more slim profile. And again on the other side. And you want them as parallel as possible. I think that's fine. And because these eyes are white on the other side, I would like to get some colors in there in the front. And I have this fluorescent red UV-resin that is perfect for that. Try to get away with the small bubbles. That can be there, it's fine. And you use your UV resin to, your UV light to cure it. And now we only need to secure the eyes with some, I'm using UV resin here, and try to get a fairly small head. Otherwise, if it's too big, it's gonna, especially if the head is too big on the underside of the fly, it's gonna take some of the beautiful hook gap that we have on these Stingerhooks. And another way to not let that happen to you is to place your eyes maybe a bit upwards on the top of the fly, if you tend to have big heads on your flies. And you can really see how the UV resin, UV fluorescent fibers here at the dubbing is working beautifully. And yeah, maybe I'm just gonna make a little layer more, just for my own satisfaction. And as I said, you can make this even more sparser than this fly, or you can get it a bit thicker. And if you use a thicker strip, you're gonna get a more dense body, but this has a quite slim profile. And just the last use of the UV light, and actually I'm satisfied now with this one. So here's the little fellow that we just tied, and thank you for watching, and I'm gonna use these in the fall, so hopefully to get a big sea trout, which I always hope with all my flies, but it's about the dream. And having the dream here in my tiny room while my 2 children still are asleep, thankfully. So thanks to them for staying quiet while I recorded this video, and thank you for watching. And if you have any questions about it, then please comment down below, and you will always also find the material list down under. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to see you in the next video, and contact me if you have any questions, or check out my Instagram account, Danish Fly Tying, where I also will upload fly tying content. So catch you on the coast.